meteorologist Chase Jones.
All right, if it looks crooked, it is because we're pointing you off towards the south. Now, the camera's not that high of resolution, but it is showing us impressive cloud convection, and that is Zach's favorite word because he is definitely on the lookout to see some of these impressive clouds making their way in with some of that rain shower activity. Now, I'm going to slowly work my way uphill right now as we keep our eye on the temperatures going in the opposite direction, all the way down into those mid-70s. That's where some of that rain made its way in last night. Cooling back down into those lower 70s and pushing right up into those lower 90s, and we're going to stay that way for the rest of the day, but I promise you by the end of the week we'll be around those triple digits, but steering clear the 100-degree mark. 94 in San Angelo. Everybody else in a combination of upper 80s, lower 80s, upper 70s. You can see the cool pockets across the entire area, but some of the heavier rain really sticking towards the south. 95 in Robert Lee, 85 down there in Junction, looking like 77 over there in Menard, so we're way outside that spread, about 18 degrees or so, but no one's going to disagree. It still feels pretty hot out there with those high humidity values. Dew points are in those 60s and those 50s, if not some of those 70s, while humidity indices are in those 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s across the entire board. So you can see where the moisture will continue to pop up in areas across the entire region for the rest of the night. I was going to say areas in different areas, but we're in the Concho Valley. Now, moisture tracker is going to continue to show you the strong concentrations of orange and yellow around the Gulf Coast. I promise you tropical activities trying to get its act together, but we're not going to see any heavy rain in this area, just more cool weather as we keep getting closer towards the first day of school. Now, upper level pattern showing you the heat dome completely diminishing as we make our way into the weekend, but it's sticking around sort of the central U.S., drying them up. Still dealing with a heat wave, but we're watching low pressure systems continuously try to push down on this high pressure, and by next week ridging all the way up into North Dakota, so we'll see how warm it gets. Now, water vapor imagery showing you the low pressure pushing down around the four corners finally, while we keep our eye, Zach, on the convection going from the Panhandle all the way down into the Concho Valley. Severe weather outlook is pretty moderate today, well, marginal, not very intense, but it still is over the Concho Valley. And down at the surface, we're getting a better idea of all those red flag alerts around the west coast, if not parts of the Rocky Mountains and all across Wyoming, but down in the Concho Valley, really sort of zooming in on the end of those flash flood alerts. Now, radar's going strong, still keeping our eye on Menard and down in Junction where they're pushing their way out of the north, but of course that's where those winds are out of, so cooler weather by tonight, but Futurecast's going to give you a better idea. Now, you see how overambitious this model is. It always wants to say there's more rain than there is, but the more detailed you get with it, the more opportunity you have to be wrong. Here it is by tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if it gets heavier than that, wants to push further than San Angelo, and then by the time we get towards the first day of school, going pretty clear, but as the afternoon rolls around, here it comes again by the maximum daytime heating around 4 or 5 afternoon, so you can see where the hottest part of the day will kick off the rain. So tonight, all the way back down into those upper 60s, but I'm on the lookout for more rain. Then tomorrow, a good run at those lower 90s, but I'm on the lookout for more rain. I promise you, things are on the warm-up as things clear out of the way, but as we find our way towards the second week of August, already halfway through the month, we're going to be warming right back up near those triple digits, but I promise you, as we begin to close in on Labor Day, we're going to cool right back down into those mid-90s, with those overnight lows going from those 60s back up into those mid-70s. Stay tuned, we'll have more up the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.